You know what I mean? But what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Chip Willie Silly, man. A.K.A. Mr. Take It Easy. Boy, you end up life easy. Your 5-star. Don't 5-star. What I'll say, don't fill your head up, right? You know what I mean? You are a mod. That's it. You're not the best mod. You're the mod. Just do your freaking job, because you can lose your job like this in an instant, man. You know what I mean? So I say be humble. You know what I mean? Because it's not one mod I won't take away. Now, be humble and do your freaking job, all right? You know what I mean? That's all I can say. Don't get too big-headed, because one thing about me, I lays law down. You hear me, 5-star? I lay it down. You feel me? So just don't get too comfortable with me. Don't get too friendly with me, because I lay law down. You know what I'm saying? I lay it down for real, for sure. You know what I mean? So do your job. If you don't do your job, you're out. You know what I mean? You're fired, man. You know what I mean? But what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Chip Willie Silly, man. A.K.A. Mr. Take It Easy. End up like busy. Make sure y'all follow my Instagram and Twitch in the description down below. Everything you know about your boy Jay is in the description down below. We got one sports analyst versus 25 NBA and NFL casuals. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I just feel like everybody who really knows sports that I can really... Stephen A. don't be really knowing sports. I really consider Stephen A., Skip Bayless, them type of dudes as entertainers. Like, for me, I consider myself a sports analyst. I have my own show. You know what I'm saying? I don't have my own show. What's the difference between my show and First Take? What's the difference between my show and First Take? They have more followers. They have much of a following base. They know more than me. I played the sport. I played football and basketball. I know football and basketball too. What makes them different from me? You know what I'm saying? What makes them different? I don't know how many horrible takes Stephen A. done had. I don't know how many horrible takes Skip Bayless done had. But I promise you, I will school both of these dudes when it comes to sports. It's nothing that Stephen A. knows about sports that I don't. It's nothing that Skip Bayless knows about sports that I don't. I will school both of them. You know what I mean? Honestly. Shannon Sharp, too.
Mahomes went 7-4-7. What do you think of that one, Skip? Tell me, come on, buddy.
I think we're going to go in the direction of Stephen Curry. And I'm going to point out one word.
Steph Curry?
He was throwing balls to his receivers, hitting them in the helmets and stuff like that, and they weren't catching the ball.
It was 31-9.
Look at this embarrassing Smeagol's fan. Do y'all see this? Embarrassing Smeagol's fan, two ring having niggas?
I'm Skip Bayless. I've been a sports commentator for many years on ESPN and on Fox. Now I host the Skip Bayless Show on YouTube. Right now, I am surrounded by 20 NBA and NFL super fans, and I wish each and every one of you...
I promise you they're not super fans.
Because you're going to need it. My first claim is, Magic Johnson is the greatest Laker of all time.
No, that right there, Magic Johnson is definitely, you know what I'm saying, honestly, definitely, to me, is Kobe Bryant, Kareem, and Magic. But he is not the greatest. I'm sorry. Honestly, that would be Kobe Bean Bryant, who is the greatest of all time. But like I said, that is my opinion. So Skip Bayless saying that Magic Johnson is the greatest Laker of all time is like he has 5 like Kobe. He won the championship in his rookie season. So it's like, that's opinions. That's what I say. Like, that's something that I'm working on, and that's something that I'm starting to accept. His opinions. Him saying Magic Johnson is the greatest Laker of all time, not crazy to say. Now, if you would have said LeBron James is the greatest Laker of all time, then we would have had some problems. But you saying that Magic Johnson, Shaq, Kareem, you know what I mean, Kobe, that nature, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. Now, Jerry West being the greatest Laker of all time, you know what I mean? And don't, LeBron fans, please don't. You know what I mean? LeBron isn't the greatest Laker of all time. If he would have ring this year and then turns around and winning another ring, then I'll put LeBron in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? But he's only won 1 ring with the Lakers, bro. And we're talking about cats that's won 5 rings with the Lakers. We're talking about cats that's won 5 rings with him. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just, he's not the greatest Laker of all time. He's better than all of them, in my opinion. But he's not the greatest Laker of all time.
Good luck.
I know you think Magic is the greatest Laker of all time.
I do.
Skip, I think it's Kobe. I think the game is about a bucket at the end of the day. I think the priority is scoring the basketball. Kobe did that better than Magic. I think both of them were very, very transformative in what they did for the Laker franchise and the NBA in general. And I would give it to Kobe, because of his scoring prowess and also, of course, how transformative he was and how many players he inspired.
Look, I take nothing away from Kobe's ability to score buckets, get buckets, because nobody was greater in the history of the game. Magic did transform the franchise because, remember, Kareem had been a Laker for 4 years doing next to nothing until Magic walks in the door in 1980 and turns them around and gets them all the way to a Game 6 at Philadelphia in the finals, in which Kareem could not go. And I believe Magic Johnson that day at Philadelphia that evening played the greatest NBA game of all time, greatest playoff game, because he goes as a rookie for 42, 15, and 7 with 3 steals. He makes 14 of 23 shots and all 14 of his free throws.
Bro, and that's what I be saying. Like, you gotta, like, him saying Magic, bro, because Magic, bro, LeBron is like Magic. Look at LeBron. I want you to look at LeBron play and look at Magic. Magic is an old school LeBron. You say LeBron is the greatest, but you don't, bro. LeBron got his game from Magic. The post moves. LeBron got that from Magic. You got to watch Magic play, bro. The man was cold. So it's like, and then you got to realize in his rookie season, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got hurt. And he had to play the center position. He had to play the center position. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got hurt. He had to go from playing a point guard to playing center, and he won a championship while doing that.
And lifts the Lakers over Dr. J's Sixers to a championship, and he's off to the races. Now let's look quickly at Kobe. Again, no disrespect, but I feel like Kobe was obviously Robin to Batman in the three-peat with Shaq, because Shaq dominated those 3 finals the way no players ever dominated an NBA finals to me, including Jordan. That's why I think Shaq is the second greatest Laker of all time.
But Kobe won without Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Kobe was still averaging dang near 30. You know what I'm saying? So it was just easier for Shaq to get those buckets, you know what I'm saying, with Kobe Bryant. I would say it's like a Batman type of thing. I don't think it was a Batman and Robin. Even though, yeah, he got the final MVPs, he definitely wouldn't won without Kobe. He most definitely wouldn't won without Kobe. You feel me? And he went to win. Let's really talk about it. Like, Shaq really played with the best guards of all time. We can go from Penny Hardaway. We can go from Kobe Bryant. We can go from Dwayne Wade. Bro always played with the best guards, top 3 guards. Penny Hardaway at the Magic was a top 3 shooting guard in the league. Was shooting guard, small forward, I don't know, shooting guard. Kobe Bryant at that time, top 3 in the league. Dwayne Wade at that time, top 3 in the league. So he got blessed with playing with them type of guards, and that made his job easier. So it wasn't no Batman and Robin. I said it's like a Batman and Batman. Because when Shaquille got fouled out, Kobe clutched the game.
Finals, Kobe was good, but he wasn't close to the production that Shaq was equaling. So then Shaq, they fall apart. They lose to the Pistons, obviously, 2004, and he's gone, traded away to Miami. And here we go. So Kobe, without Shaq, misses the playoffs the first year. Then they lose to the Suns in the first round, and he has the pout game in Game 7, and it was hard for me to forgive him for that. And then they lose to the Suns in the first round the next year, and then they lose to Boston in the finals. In the closeout Game 6, Kobe is horrible in that game, and they lose by 39 points at Boston. I can't defend that. They broke through and beat Dwight Howard's Magic. It was supposed to be LeBron's Cavs, so I thought that was a little overrated. And then even when they did beat Boston and get over the hump, in Game 7, Kobe was 6 of 24 in that game. So I don't know. I agree with your big picture, but when I go little picture of playoff performance without Shaq.
Let me go and just what's the name right quick. I mean, he ain't lying though, y'all. That's one thing you just can't deny, y'all. Like, I know it probably hurts y'all feelings, bro. And like I said, Kobe's my guy, but that's what's funny about y'all. You try to argue facts. It's like, you can't argue facts, bro. Like what he's saying it's not an opinion what he's saying. That's the difference. It's not an opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's a fact what he's saying. So it's like, it's proven facts that Kobe went, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm sorry.
I totally understand what you're saying, and I think Magic was extraordinary. And to be a rookie and start at center in the finals as a point guard, I mean, we've never seen that before. I don't know if we ever will. And yeah, he was terrific. He was splendid. He won his championships. Of course, Kobe got his. And I understand you know, picking out these individual games and years and teammates and everything. And I think, you know, you can really do that with anyone. And I think it's important to look at the big picture.
Kobe's mystique was bigger than Magic's, but if you look at Magic's productivity, how he changed a culture that both Shaq and Kobe benefited from piggybacking that culture.
Yeah, bro, Magic and Larry Bird, and I appreciate the sub. Magic and Larry Bird, if y'all don't know, saved the NBA from bankruptcy. That's what I'm like, it probably wouldn't even be an NBA without Magic and Larry Bird. They saved it from bankruptcy. NBA was on the verge of bankruptcy, bro. Magic and Larry saved the NBA. So it's like, y'all so hipped up to scoring and scoring and all that, but bro, Magic was a playmaker, and that's why I say I take Magic over Curry. Because let's look at Curry game. Curry does not make his teammates better, bro. Curry is a 3-point shooter. That's it, and that's all. Look at Magic and look at Curry, bro. Magic is the real representation of a point guard. Magic makes his other teams better. If y'all not heard, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the heck going on with this nigga face. That boy like a blowfish, a wrinkled blowfish. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I was saying though, before Magic got here, you know what I'm saying? Before Magic got there, Kareem couldn't win. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Magic got there, and that's when Kareem started winning. So the thing is, Magic give you a bucket. He give you a bucket of some ish, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, bro made his other... You know what I'm saying? Bro made his other freaking players good, bro. He was a passer. He was a playmaker.
I'm going slightly Magic over Shaq, Shaq over Kobe.
I'll take Magic over.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Way to go.
So, Kobe Bryant, 20 years with the same team, 18 All-Stars, 15 All-NBA, 12 All-Defense. MVP, 2 finals MVPs, 5 championships. And even though he's done all of that, I think what makes him the greatest Laker of all time, it's different than what makes a player the greatest player of all time. Because like LeBron's not the greatest Heat player of all time, that's Dwayne Wade. So it's not just, are you better, like, are you greater?
I will take LeBron over, I don't give a dang if Dwayne Wade won with Shaq. LeBron is definitely the greatest Heat player of all time, and that's just my opinion. And LeBron is the greatest Cavaliers player of all time, in my opinion. So that's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But your opinion, I mean, you can say Dwayne Wade is the greatest Heat of all time. You know, that's not a crazy thing to say, but don't act like it's crazy to say that LeBron isn't the greatest Heat of all time, because LeBron got 2 rings. Dwayne got 3, but LeBron got 2. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you feel me? It go neck for neck for that one, you know what I mean? But there's no debating that LeBron is the greatest Cleveland Cavalier of all time. That's no debating that at all.
It's what you've done for that city and that franchise. But I would argue it. I love Magic. I grew up on Magic. But when you watch...
It feels like you grew up more on Kobe.
Right? I'm older than I look, honestly. But Magic, when you saw him on the court, he was like the greatest showman. Right, he's a performer, charisma, a smile, the flashiness, showtime, right? Kobe, when you saw him on the court, it was like watching your brother, you know, your sibling, or your uncle, or your son, because he had this fully realized character arc. He was a rookie, he failed, you know, not drafted by the Lakers, but we got him, you know, early. And the air balls, you know, and then the rising to prominence, 2000.
He was just 18 years old, but go ahead.
Yeah, but 2000, taking over in the finals after Shaq got hurt, after Jalen Rose shadily sprained his ankle, and then he came back, and then, you know, he got him back with the 81 later. And then the championships, and then there was another, he went through kind of a villain arc.
He did.
You know, there was like Colorado.
There was Colorado.
All the down years.
Good, like it.
If you're a fan, you're with Kobe's with you that whole time, and I actually didn't like Kobe early on. I was mad when they started playing him over Eddie Jones, like early days. And you went through all of that, and Kobe just won you over. That's why there are more than 350 murals of Kobe in LA.
Okay, so you're making the case that Kobe is dearer to your heart than Magic was. He has a bigger place in your heart. And I'm making the case that Magic had greater impact consistently than Kobe had, because Magic was the driving force of the Showtime Lakers, and Kobe was not the driving force of the three-peat, right?
Sure. Well, let me address that real quick. Because you're going to the finals and you're talking about Shaq, but that's always with the team from the East, and the East had notoriously bad big men. Everyone knows in those years the finals was the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in those series, Kobe was instrumental. You know, in 2002, Kobe and Shaq basically throughout the whole playoffs had equivalent points. Yeah, the same amount of points. And Shaq himself has admitted on, you know, various podcasts and different things, he was never the guy to take the last shot. I know you value that, right? Jordan's your guy. Kobe is the closest thing that we've ever seen to Jordan. And he was a guy who never shied away from the moment. He was a guy who always made the most of his opportunity when it was there.
I give you that.
And I don't think he gets enough credit for the second run that he made with Pau. That team wasn't, I mean, that's not an all-time team.
No.
You know, his all-time, his
But
supporting
his
cast
breakthrough was
was
not against an all-time team, because remember, the Magic upset LeBron's Cavaliers to get to the finals, right?
I mean, I give you that, but you can only play the team that, you know, I think LeBron, maybe he's the one who didn't, they had the Nike commercials, and you know, but
true.
LeBron didn't hold up his end.
He didn't hold up his end in the bargain.
I mean,
okay, so you're okay with Kobe pouting in a Game 7 at Phoenix against Raja Bell?
I'm not okay with it, but I mean, are you okay with 84, Tragic Johnson, where, you know, runs out the clock, throws the turnover?
Okay.
I mean,
he did, but he bounced
failures.
right back the next year in 85, and he shoots a baby hook shot.
And Kobe bounced back the next year by going to the finals.
Okay, he did. Yeah, after the pout.
After the pout, yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's what, to me, those failures you're pointing at, every player.
That's what I'm trying to say. Hey, look, they're both making good points. You know what I'm saying? They're both making good points. I'm not gonna like Skip don't know what the heck he be talking about, because, you know, Skip definitely know what the heck he be talking about sometimes. His takes sometimes be crazy to say sometimes, like with the Tim Tebow one and the Tom Brady one. I ain't never gonna forget that take, Skip Bayless, bro. That take was crazy, comparing Tom Brady to Tim Tebow. You know what I'm saying? But they're both making good arguments, and I told y'all can go either way. Magic, Kobe. My opinion is Kobe, then Magic, but it's either way. You know what I'm saying? Either way, they both got 5. They both meant something to the Lakers, man. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, man. Even though I didn't grow up watching Magic, I go back and study the game. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for Kobe. You know what I'm saying? It was like I said, I ain't never gonna forget Kobe last game, man. I had to tune into that, man. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna be my boy last time in a Laker jersey. You know what I mean? So I'm glad I got to see that. You know what I mean? Before my boy passed away, you know what I mean? I got to see him on the court last time as a Laker, bro. You know what I mean? That's something I ain't never gonna forget. You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe who's your GOAT? But every player has that. Magic has that.
Had to tune in to my boy last game, man. Even though we was sorry, you know, we ain't made the playoffs, but had to tune into his last game, man.
In terms of LA and LA.
Okay, but if you look at Shaq's numbers in those 3 finals, and I give you that the big men, the Tim Duncans, were over on the other side of the bracket, right? But he goes 38, 17, and 2 in their first finals. 33, 16, and 5, and 36, 12, and 4. Look at the assists. He's averaging 5 assists a game in the NBA Finals. Listen, those 3 years, and I've been doing this a long time. I was actually covering the Kareem Lakers pre-Magic out here in LA.
Let's get voted out real quick.
Okay.
real quick. Were any of those finals really competitive? Pacers, Sixers, and Nets. No, they weren't competitive. They dominated those teams.
Because you had the greatest offensive force I've ever seen, including Jordan, where he was unrefereeable at that point, because I never knew whether it's offense or defense, you know, on the foul.
I think Kobe could easily have had better numbers. He didn't have to. You know, Shaq, those teams were not equipped to play against the Lakers. Credit Allen Iverson for getting the one game in 2001.
It was big. That was the greatest achievement of his career. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. go.
Get it, Skip.
Okay, you're getting close. I will.
How you doing?
Nice to see you.
Yep, so how is Magic the greatest Laker of all time when he wasn't even the greatest Laker on his team? That's Kareem.
Yeah, he definitely was the greatest Laker on his team. I'm sorry to tell you that. Sorry to bust your bubbles. You know what I mean? But he definitely was the greatest Laker on his team. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Kareem did win one with the Bucks with Oscar Robertson, bro. But after that, he couldn't win until Magic came into play. You know what I mean? So he's most definitely, like I said, it's his opinion, though. You know what I'm saying? It's my opinion. So, see, the problem, I told you, the problem I have with people is that you coming up here saying, like it's a fact what you're saying. You got to work on that, people. You got to work on that. You coming up here acting like, oh, how can you say that Magic is the greatest Laker of all time when Kareem is the... What you saying isn't a fact, bro. It's an opinion. It's how you feel. So just because you feel that certain type of way, that doesn't mean that it's right. A fact is Kareem wasn't winning before Magic got there. That's a fact. A fact is that Magic won in his rookie year. That's a fact. A fact is that Kareem got injured and Magic had to play the center role. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. You saying that I'm saying that Kobe is the greatest Laker of all time, that's an opinion. You saying that Magic is the greatest Laker of all time is an opinion. People have to learn how to start being okay with other people's opinions. Stop thinking that your way is the way. How you think other people should think. That's not how life works, my brother.
Kareem was first all time in Lakers points, first in rebounds, first in blocks, first in field goals made. And he had an unstoppable move in the skyhook. Has one more championship because he has 6, Magic has 5, and he has 3 more MVPs.
Okay.
We haven't even got to Kobe yet.
We haven't. All right, let's look hard at Kareem's career. So he wins his first ring in Milwaukee, helped by Oscar Robertson kind of at the end of his career. So that's 1971. Then he goes 4 more years in Milwaukee and nothing really. They were pretty good, but they weren't great. Okay. Then he comes to LA in 76 is his first year with the Lakers. And again, there's no Magic yet, obviously.
Right.
And they miss the playoffs the first year. The second year, they get swept by Portland in the conference finals. The third year of Kareem, no Magic. They lose in the first round to Seattle. And the fourth year, Kareem, no Magic, they lose in the conference semifinals to Seattle. So they're floundering with Kareem because he was a follower and not a leader. I give you every point you made about points and about rebounds and about blocks and about skyhooks and all that is sensational.
Yeah, and that means nothing if you're not winning, bro. That means completely nothing. Like points, you're so like, okay, he has the most points. Kareem was the best in the league at the time, but it's like you're not winning nothing. It's like, okay, you got the most points. Points, assists, and all that is really overrated. It's like what really matters, like who affects the game more. You know what I mean? Who is the most winning, like who can win more? You know what I mean? In certain situations. You know what I mean? Like who, because like points and assists and stats, it's like it matters, but it doesn't in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like even with LeBron and MJ, it matters, but it doesn't. I say LeBron is better than MJ because of the teams Bron had to face and MJ had to face. MJ had to face the freaking the Supersonics. Not the Supersonics. It was Charles Barkley, the Suns, bro. You know what I mean? He faced the freaking Gary Payton. He faced the old John Stockton and an old Karl Malone. On the other hand, LeBron faced a Kawhi Leonard, a Danny Green, a Tim Duncan, a Tony Parker, a Manu Ginobili. 2 times San Antonio, he had to play San Antonio. He lost to San Antonio 1 time. He beat San Antonio 1 time. And then Cleveland, he had to face Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson. He had to face them boys. Draymond Green, he had to face them 2 times. And then he had to face the Golden State Warriors, Sean Livingston. He had to face Golden State 4 times out of his whole career. 2016, came back from a 3-1 deficit. That's 2. After he came back from a 3-1 deficit, he came and went and got KD, and that right there makes it 4 times. So he had to deal with the Spurs 1 time. He had to deal with the Spurs 2 times. Had to deal with Golden State 4 times. And then he had to deal with the Dallas Mavericks, who was actually an underrated team with Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, Dirk Nowitzki, and Sean Marion and Caron Butler. You know what I'm saying? Who actually is an underrated team. Honestly, in my opinion, he did horrible that series, but I feel like we honestly sleep on the the Dallas Mavericks that year with a Hall of Fame point guard Jason Kidd, and a Hall of Fame power forward Dirk Nowitzki. You know what I'm saying? With Jason Terry and Sean Marion on the side. So it's like I feel like that right there. I feel like that Dallas Mavericks team is better than any team that Michael Jordan didn't face all around. Like, just keeping it real. We talk about this, but they try to make it seem like LeBron James, the Miami Heat, was so overpowered. In reality, it wasn't. It was not, bro. They had LeBron, they had D Wade, and Chris Bosh, who was averaging like 15 points a game. Who was Chris Bosh to Dirk Nowitzki? You had Dwayne Wade, but Dwayne Wade was old at the time, getting old at the time. Dwayne Wade really wasn't in his prime for real. He was, but he wasn't. He was kind of getting on the verge, you know what I'm saying, of retiring. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't finna like retire, but he was getting there. He wasn't prime Dwayne Wade. You know what I'm saying? Bron just entering his prime for real. It was really still Dwayne Wade's team. But other than Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh was, you know what I'm saying? Chris Bosh was like a Kevin Love, in my opinion. Raptors, he did good, but the Miami Heat wasn't really like a factor. Like, he was an all-star, but wasn't really like a, you know, big three for real, in my opinion. Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, but you had Mario Chalmers, who was Norris Cole, Joel Anthony, Mike Miller, you know what I'm saying? You had them type of guys. Other than that, LeBron and D Wade, other than that, the team was horrible. Let's really keep it real. You had Birdman. The team was freaking mediocre. But just because LeBron was on the team, they try to make it seem like it was so much of a super team. That's how good LeBron was, bro. Every team that LeBron was on, they made it seem like it was a freaking super team because LeBron was that good. LeBron have one player, even a superstar caliber type player, is a super team because he was that freaking good, y'all.
A missing ingredient called leadership, charisma, whatever that greatest intangible is, that Magic had greater than anybody this side of Jordan.
Yeah, no, I give you that. I give you that for sure. Right. But the thing about it is, you were talking about in 1980, right, when Magic won Rookie of the Year. Would he have won Rookie of the Year if he would have, yeah, would he have won Rookie of the Year?
Without Kareem?
Without Kareem? Kareem was averaging 33 points that series.
Well,
okay, he was still averaging a lot of points and still couldn't win.
Before he got injured in Game 6.
Gone to Utah or wherever he would have gone. I just think he would have been Rookie of the Year. But
right.
he was the perfect fit at the perfect moment for this team. And it became a super team, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was Showtime, and they had Big Game James, obviously, and they had Byron, and they had Michael Cooper guarding the way nobody could guard on the perimeter. I give you all that.
Exactly.
But it gelled around the new son, S-U-N, who was Magic, right?
Right.
And he lifted them into what was 9 finals, okay?
Yep.
And he is the driving force. Kareem wasn't. Kareem was really more of a Robin, but you can make a case he was the greatest Robin of all time.
Right.
Okay? I give you all your numbers because clearly it took LeBron playing now 22 years, but
exactly.
it took 21 years to break Kareem's record.
And that's the point that I was making, is that at the end of the day, like, unless Kareem just got unlucky because the best player of all time, LeBron James, took that scoring title from him, but he would have been able to keep that for his whole life. And then if we go to Kobe, right? For example, if I was to take your papers right there, ball them up in a trash can and shoot it, whose name would we say? We wouldn't say Magic.
No.
We're not talking about influence, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we definitely know that, okay, Kobe, we're talking about who had the greatest impact on the game, and who I feel like Kobe is the greatest Laker of all time, but you're talking about influence, bro. We're talking about the game. What you're saying does not matter at all. Kobe is an all-time great, for sure. But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now.
Who we saying? We saying Kobe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. And when we talk about, like, keeping that mentality, how you go through life, how you focus on what you need to do in life, nobody says, keep that magic. They say keep that Mamba mentality. Okay. That's what it's all about.
Okay, but you grew up in the Mamba mentality.
Like, you're bringing up like influences. You're bringing up life. We're talking about Laker, bro. We're talking about Laker, bro. Talking about basketball. We're not talking about life. We're not talking about freaking balling up a paper and fading away at a basketball. We're not talking about, Mamba mentality. We're not talking about that. Because in my opinion, Magic Johnson had Mamba mentality too. It's a lot of people that got that mentality. You know what I mean? That was just Kobe's nickname, Black Mamba. But in my opinion, there's a lot of players that had that Mamba mentality just like Kobe.
era, am I right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why I started off with Kareem first.
Okay.
Get him off.
You do,
Get him
and I
off.
give you that.
Yeah.
But Magic Johnson was the greatest NBA leader ever, beyond Bill Russell, beyond Michael Jordan, beyond we got Brady over on the other side in the National Football League, so that's another argument. But on just NBA leadership,
Right.
Magic on charisma, on winning time, as he called it winning time, and in my generation, winning time was more important than, because we didn't know Mamba mentality yet, right?
I got you.
I want winning time. I want magic time.
Kobe had the same type of leadership style as far as like Kobe had aura. Like, job's not finished, like all of those things, but also he showed it in actions first. You know what I mean? He wasn't really about the partying or going out. He was so dedicated to the craft.
I think Kobe was a Jordan-esque leader, and he modeled every bit of his action, his very body language after Michael Jordan, and he led like Jordan did, and it wasn't a pretty sight because he could be a real, just a tough leader, like he gave nobody any slack at all. He pushed, he pulled, he cursed, he did it the way Jordan did it.
I agree.
And it was scary. It was like an intimidation, leadership by intimidation. Magic did it with a smile, but Magic, listen, I got to know him in his rookie year. He was as tough as they came. You wouldn't want to mess with him.
No, I'm saying, bro, like you don't have to be, you know what I mean, all that, because like I said, bro, you don't have to be on some job not finished. You don't have to, you can smile and all that, but be a killer on the court like Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic, bro, you see, bro, be smiling and all that, but when he comes on that court, bro, is a killer. You feel me? So, I would definitely, you and I, bro, when it comes to, sports, I'll definitely run you in the freaking circles.
I agree with you. I mean, leadership comes in all different forms, right? You never know how somebody's going to choose to lead, but Kobe led in plenty of ways, and also all of the players that picked up a basketball because of his presence. We wouldn't have Devin Booker without Kobe. Jason Tatum is
I'm
doing what he
with you,
does.
but I'm looking at the first 4 years with no Shaq. And Kobe really struggled by himself because he couldn't figure out yet how to lead, because he was a solo act of solo acts.
Of course.
So it took Jordan a while to figure out, hey, you actually need those 4 other guys along with 8, 9 other guys to get this done. And with Phil's help, he finally figured that out when they broke through. But even after the pout game in Game 7, if I look at Kobe winning the championship, getting even with the Boston Celtics in that Game 7, he shoots 6 of 24 in a Game 7. Well, that's not Mamba mentality, and I didn't love that. It's like, remember, Ron Artest, Meta World Peace, hit the shot of shots in that game with a minute left. He hits a big 3 that gave them the cushion.
I'm a Celtics fan. I watched that. It broke my heart.
Well, there you go.
Thank you, Skip.
Way to go. Good job.
Hey, you sucked.
Ooh, sorry. I think that Magic Johnson is one of the greatest Lakers of all time, but because he had a shortened career, unfortunately.
He did. It was still 12 years, but it should have been
12 years, but not 20 like Kareem.
Yeah, and y'all might don't know that Magic Johnson, if y'all don't know, because of AIDS, he had to stop playing basketball early. You know what I mean? So imagine if Magic Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if Magic Johnson was to play 20-something. Magic Johnson would most definitely be the greatest player of all time. If Magic Johnson was to play like 20-something years, 21 years, Magic Johnson would possibly be the greatest player of all time.
Kobe.
That boy got 5 rings in the span of 12 years.
Like LeBron.
Of his playing.
But
if that's not winning, then I don't know what is, bro.
I'm going to go a little off path here. Okay. I'm going to argue that the logo was the greatest Laker of all time.
Jerry West. See, that right there is that's an opinion, but that's for me, that's kind of like a dumb opinion. Jerry West didn't accomplish half of what Magic that's his opinion though, He is the NBA logo. Long live Jerry West for surely. You know what I mean? That's his opinion, though, so I can't argue with his opinion, but Jerry West, the greatest Laker of all time, I never heard that before.
He only won 1, but he had to play against the greatest dynasty in the history of the sport. He had to play against the greatest leader in the history of the sport, I think. Bill Russell, who would make, like Magic, everybody around him better. Also, he scouted for the Lakers afterwards.
He did.
He coached the Lakers during the time that you're talking about Kareem getting there.
Not well, but he coached.
They actually did okay. They actually did okay. They didn't have a great team, but they did, like, I think they got the Western Conference Finals at least once. And then he stepped aside, and when Buss wanted to hire Riley, because Magic pushed Westhead, right?
Out. Yep.
Buss tried to make them co-coaches, and West and Riley, and West right afterwards said, that's not the case. It's Riley's team.
Right, he wanted no part of that.
And he's a badass, like, in that way. And he put together Showtime. He put together Shaq and Kobe. He helped Memphis have a team at all.
Okay,
he
but
helped
we're
put together.
not talking about post-career. We're talking about playing career, because Jerry West, to me, is the greatest GM ever in the history of the NBA. And by the way, Michael Jordan was the worst GM in the history of the NBA.
Not the worst.
Just for objectivity here.
He was the worst. He definitely was. That's what I'm saying with you. You just, we're talking about playing wise. You start veering off until GM, and we're talking about playing wise, playing, bro. You know what I mean? We're not talking about GM. We're talking about playing. Him being the greatest GM of all time does not make him the greatest Laker of all time. You know what I'm saying? GMs, we can put him in that GM, but when it comes to playing, Jerry West is not even, in my opinion, I will put LeBron over Jerry West. They both got one, but if Bron was to win two, I will put Bron over Jerry West. You know what I mean? Honestly.
To your point, okay, so Jerry West and the Lakers get to 9 finals, and he loses 8 times, and a lot of it had to do with that guy, Bill Russell.
To the greatest team ever.
But if I swap,
that's not the greatest team ever. I don't know what you're talking about. That was the greatest team in that time. That's not the greatest team ever. You telling me that Bill Russell team can beat that San Antonio Spurs team? You telling me that Bill Russell team can beat that freaking you telling me that Bill Russell team can beat that Golden State Warriors team even without KD? No, the team that LeBron played was the greatest team of all time. Not Bill Russell.
And a lot of it had to do with that guy, Bill Russell.
To the greatest team ever.
But if I swap out, if I put Magic in place of the logo on those teams, Magic was the greatest winner this side of Michael Jordan that I ever closely observed and got to know. So if you put him in on those Jerry West teams with Wilt and with Elgin and with Gail Goodrich, that he puts them over the top because of his dynamic charisma and leadership. It was unequaled. I've never seen anything like it.
Jerry's leadership, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Jerry's
it was quiet leadership. It was, but it wasn't.
But he had Elgin, who was charismatic, who was like Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan.
I got it, but man.
And West won the MVP of the finals, only person
in a losing cause.
On a losing cause.
Yeah.
That's how great he was.
He goes 1-8 in the finals
of the NBA.
And you can't say that's better than Magic's winning time Showtime.
Also, to be the greatest Laker ever doesn't mean you're the greatest Laker player ever necessarily. It means you're the greatest.
That.
So he's the only one that was great as a player, great as a scout, I think good as a coach, great as a GM, great as an advisor, great as a logo for the entire NBA the whole time. He didn't ever do anything wrong.
Okay,
and he played
but
long.
if you put Jerry West on the Showtime teams, do you think they're Showtime? Because they're not, because he didn't play with any.
Kurt Rambis was on the Showtime team.
Well, he was. He was like a sixth man or badass enforcer.
Jerry West would have been fine. He would have been like Byron Scott or better, right?
Yeah, but again, if you didn't have Magic Johnson on those teams, you don't have Showtime. There's no more Showtime.
You don't have Showtime.
And Jerry West was as pretty a jump shooter as I've ever seen. It was just beautiful form, and it was mesmerizing, but it wasn't captivating, right? It wasn't Magic Johnson. I couldn't take my eyes off Magic because he had a big smile. He had the greatest smile in the history of the game.
Yes.
And it was contagious on his team. He lifted his entire team with his own charisma.
He did. Like Russell, like Russell did in his own way. But I didn't realize that compellingness was part of what made somebody the greatest Laker
And
ever.
I didn't realize influence made somebody the greatest Laker ever, bro. I didn't realize influence made somebody the greatest Laker ever. So it's like you're kind of like, oh, okay, you're talking about, but you're talking about influence. You're talking about GM. You're talking about scouting, bro. We're talking about the greatest Magic, the greatest Laker. We're talking about playing wise. You can't be the greatest Laker and you 1-8, bro. You went 1-8. You lost to the same cat freaking 9 times. You think Magic Johnson with Elgin Baylor and Wilt Chamberlain will lose that amount of times to Bill Russell? Magic Johnson is far more superior than Jerry West, bro.
I thought it was like scoring.
That's what we're talking about. You're contradicting yourself. We're talking about it's scoring, and that makes Magic Johnson the greatest Laker of all time. You're bringing up other things.
Well, leadership, and I don't think Jerry was a great leader.
Really?
I think he was more of a solo act. He stayed to himself. He was a quiet leader, but not dynamic.
He helped
not
manage.
a powerful voice in the locker room kind of leader.
He helped manage Wilt.
I guess for a little while, and they got a championship. They got one championship
for the
out
best
of it.
Laker team ever, arguably.
Yeah, you could certainly make a case for that.
Right.
Yeah. All right, good job. Way to go. My next claim is Michael Jordan is the GOAT and laughably better than LeBron James.
This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one, right? Yeah, this is gonna be a good one right here.
How are you?
This one I know I'm gonna disagree with Skip right here. This is gonna be a good one, Chad. Oh, here we
How
go.
are you? Nice to meet
Here
you.
we go,
I'm
Chad.
a big fan of your career, everything you stand for in this industry.
Here we go.
But this awful take, I'm not going to let it seep through.
Okay.
So, Michael Jordan, there are 2 angles to looking at the GOAT debate. Number 1, could Michael Jordan have done what LeBron is doing in this era, and vice versa?
Yes, most definitely. When I say LeBron is better than Jordan, nigga, I'm not saying like LeBron is better than Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes, niggas acting like I be saying LeBron better than, it's like LeBron to Kawhi Leonard. You know what I'm saying? This LeBron, this Kawhi. No, it's not. No, not that. When I'm saying LeBron better than Jordan, I'm saying LeBron better than Jordan. I'm saying like that. So you'll be a dang fool to think that Michael Jordan would not cook in this generation, bro. Like I said, I feel like, for me, LeBron, Mike, Kobe. LeBron, Mike, Kobe. Simple as that. LeBron, Mike, Kobe. LeBron, Mike, Kobe. I'm gonna get out my 5. LeBron, Mike, Kobe. Shoot. LeBron, Mike, Kobe. My opinion, so I don't want to hear nobody talking about, like, it's my opinion. LeBron, Mike, Kobe, Shaq, Magic.
Other angle is there
Kareem,
any single
Bird.
thing that Michael Jordan has done over the course of an
I'll
entire
probably put Bird over Bird, Kareem.
career better
Matter of fact, I'll put Hakeem over Kareem. That's an unpopular take. I will put Hakeem Olajuwon over Kareem.
than LeBron James? So I'm asking you, is there one thing that you could definitively say that Michael Jordan did better than LeBron James over the course of his entire NBA career?
Yeah, he won better. He just won and won and won. He was invincible.
He won better. Okay, here we go. 6-0 in the finals. There we go, Skip. He won better, but before Scottie Pippen got there, he could not make it past Larry Bird and the Celtics. Before Scottie Pippen got there, he was not winning the finals. So it just kind of blasphemy. It kind of blows my mind when Michael Jordan, when Michael Jordan fans make it seem like he's just cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying? He's just cream of the crop, like, oh, 6-0 in the finals. Like he just went 6-0. You know what I'm saying? He was getting his head beat in before Scottie Pippen even came. Let's talk about them years before Scottie Pippen. That was very, very outrageous. You know what I mean? And then let's talk about the teams that he faced in the finals compared to the teams that LeBron James faced in the finals. You know what I mean? See, the difference is between LeBron James' team and Michael Jordan team is Michael Jordan team was the best. LeBron James' team was not. That's the difference. LeBron was facing the best. Michael Jordan was the best. 70, what was it, y'all? 73-10, if I'm not mistaken, 73-10. If I'm 73-9, you know what I mean? It was either 73-9 or not. I don't know. But that was the difference. Michael Jordan was the best team. LeBron was facing the best teams.
and unbeatable, and he went 6-0 in the finals with 6 MVPs. And no, they didn't play the toughest competition in the finals, but the beasts were in the East, and he devoured and slayed the beasts one after another. Bird Celtics, then the bad boy Pistons, and then Reggie Miller's Pacers.
He was losing to them.
When you go
he never beat Bird.
6-0 with 6 MVPs in the finals versus 4 and 6 in the finals for LeBron, and Ray Allen saved LeBron a loss there because LeBron had completely self-destructed in Game 6 of that 2013 finals. And then if Kyrie, when nobody can buy a shot, if Kyrie hadn't hit the shot of shots in Game 7 at Oracle, LeBron could be 2-8 in the finals. So we're talking about winning. I say it all the time, LeBron is still, to this moment, the best passer in basketball. I say it all the time. LeBron is still the greatest driver of the basketball I ever saw, to a fault, because he's a poor jump shooter, a poor three-point shooter by star standards, or certainly by superstar standards.
Michael Jordan could not shoot threes, Skip. What are you talking about? Michael Jordan could not shoot threes. Michael Jordan's not better than LeBron at mid-range, bro. Oh my God, what are you talking about, bro?
And he's a poor free throw shooter by superstar standards.
God?
He should have 5,000 more points, but he's such a worse shooter than Jordan ever was as a jump shooter and a free throw shooter that it's hard for me to say, how can you call LeBron the GOAT when he's a lousy shooter?
Part of the argument to what you said is everything you just said is wrong. So if you look at true shooting percentage, which takes into account all the offense, all the scoring, who had the better true shooting percentage in his NBA career in the regular season? LeBron James. Who had the better true shooting percentage in the playoffs? LeBron James. And you just said Michael Jordan won a lot better. So starting 1-9 in the playoffs in his career doesn't count, just doesn't matter.
Thank you. Like, dang. Like, I don't understand. Like, why they act like this nigga wasn't getting wasn't getting discombobulated before Scottie Pippen got here? Like, why are they always talking about? Why are we always talking about 6-0? Let's talk about how he was getting discombobulated. You know what I'm saying? Freaking combobulated before Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman came. He never beat Larry Bird. He never beat an old Larry Bird. You always talking about 6-0 in the finals. This man was getting discombobulated before Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman came. He was getting discombobulated. He was getting destroyed.
Losing to the Pistons over and over again because he was so dominated by any level of physicality because he was soft. So that does not count. That doesn't matter.
Wait, did you just call Michael Jordan soft?
Compared to LeBron James?
He was the baddest you-know-what who ever stepped on a basketball court. Trust me.
Yeah, Michael Jordan wasn't soft now. You know what I mean? Okay, Leonard. You know what I mean? Michael Jordan wasn't soft now. That one thing I'm never going to do is discredit MJ. I'm never going to. That's not the type of person that I am. I'm always Michael Jordan is the Mike. I want to be like Mike. You know, Mike now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to act like Mike ain't Mike. So, you feel me? That's what y'all niggas be doing. You feel me? Y'all niggas, you feel me? Y'all be overdoing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never going to be on some, you feel me? Yeah, Michael Jordan soft and all. No, nigga, I want to be like Mike. All right, now. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like MJ just won that nigga now. I feel like Bron better by an inch. But nigga, for you to say MJ soft, it's kind of weird to me, gang. You know what I'm saying? He definitely wasn't soft. You know what I mean? And he definitely played in a more physical era. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like I said, I feel like early 2000s, 10. That's why I kind of get disappointed. You know what I'm saying? With LeBron and them be flopping and Curry and them be flopping. I'm like, nigga, you played in the era where they played defense like Curry. I'm like, Curry, nigga, you played in the era where nigga wasn't no flopping. That's why I said Curry just started doing that weird flopping junk, bro. LeBron and them, they just started doing that. That new generation is rubbed off on them niggas. 2010s, it wasn't none of that. It wasn't none of that BS going on. You feel me? So it's like they adapting to the new generation, and it pisses me off seeing them. It pisses me off seeing them do that junk. You know what I mean? Because they did not used to play like that, bro. Curry didn't used to play like that. Bron didn't used to play like that. None of them niggas, even Kawhi starting to play like Kawhi starting to scream. Kawhi used to play like that, bro. Niggas wasn't expecting to hear a whistle. These niggas throwing up shots. Like they not even like they're relying on a whistle nowadays. It's like now Jordan would destroy. Like, I want you to be like, bro, Jordan was getting punished, bro. He was getting punished. Bad boy Pistons, bro, was getting punished. You know what I'm saying? Physical, bro. No, I'm not gonna lie. 80s and 90s, yeah, their defense wasn't there. They was fouling, bro, but bro, it's calls that they call now. Even in my generation in the early 2010s, bro, calls they calling now, you're not getting that jump, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You see you can't even touch a player. You can't even lay a hand on a player no more. It's getting that bad. You can't even touch a player no more. So you telling me that the offensive side can be physical, but not the defensive side? That's how the league is today. It's like the offensive side can be physical, but the defense can't be physical. The defense got to let him go. Defense can't even touch him, bro. Basketball is a physical sport. You're gonna get hands on you, bro. No matter what. If you play basketball, you know that you're gonna get hands. You're gonna get hands on you, bro. So to call a foul on every single thing, dang, that's gonna take the joy out of the game, bro. You're going to get physical. You're going to get touched in basketball. If you think you're not going to have no contact in basketball, get the freak out of my face. Like, for real. You're going to get touched. You're going to get touched when you drive in the lane. It's going to happen. It's up to you to fight through it. Now, if a foul is a foul, all right? Don't OD it. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, like, you know.
I was there. Not like LeBron.
Not like LeBron.
LeBron is like the nicest guy ever. He's soft. He's a diva. He's thin-skinned. And can I start down the litany? Diva. He's thin-skinned.
Hold on. What you call him, Skip? What you call him?
Not like LeBron.
Not like LeBron.
LeBron is like the nicest guy ever. He's soft. He's a diva. He's thin-skinned. Can I start down the litany?
That boy called that nigga thin-skinned.
LeBron had that Jordan never had. Yeah, it took a while to break through against Larry Bird's Celtics. But remember that Michael Jordan had missed the whole year. He played 3 games and broke his foot. This is his second year in the league. And he comes back just for the playoffs and goes up against arguably the 86 Celtics were you could make a case they were the greatest team ever.
No, they're not, bro. That KD freaking team, that KD and Warriors team was the greatest team ever. But they are, bro, stop it, bro. They're not the greatest team ever. That Bulls team with Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman was better than that freaking. They had Robert Parrish, Dennis Kevin McHale, bro. Please stop it, bro.
What does he do? He scores 49 in game 1, and in game 2, he scores 63. It took double overtime, but after that game, Larry Bird said that was God disguised as Michael Jordan. Well, trust me, Larry Bird would have never said God disguised as LeBron James because look at the epic failures here. Do you remember 2010, the last go-around of the first stint in Cleveland? It's against the Celtics in the playoffs. It's the conference semifinals. They win big by 22. He's 14 of 22 from the floor. It's game 3. Then we get to 4, 5, and 6, and right on schedule, he just crumbles.
Who do he have on his team, Skip? Who do he have on his team? You're talking about that Boston Celtics team. Look, I will take that Boston Celtics team that Bron played over that Boston Celtics team MJ played. I will take Ray John Rondo, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett over that Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, Dennis Robinson, and Robert Parrish. I will take that Celtics team, that Celtics team, over that team that MJ played. I'll take that team. But you want us to feel sympathy when MJ loses? LeBron, first 7 years of his career, he had no help. But when it comes to MJ, you want us to have sympathy for MJ. Oh, the greatest player, you know, okay, we're talking about MJ. He's going against the greatest thing, the greatest Celtic team of all time. Okay, we got LeBron. He's going against the greatest Celtic, one of the greatest teams of all time. Kevin Garnett, who's a Hall of Famer. Paul Pierce, who's a Hall of Famer. Ray John Rondo, Hall of Famer. Ray Allen, Hall of Famer. He's going against 4 Hall of Famers, and he doesn't have a single All-Star on his team, but you want us to feel sorry about MJ. And you know what? You know the difference between MJ and LeBron? MJ got the help. LeBron had to go search for the help. That is the difference between MJ and Bron. But guess what y'all LeBron haters love to do? Y'all love trying to make it seem like Bron is trying to get super teams because Bron just wants help. But the difference between Bron and MJ is that Bron had to go search for the help and MJ had the help come to him. MJ was doing nothing before Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman. MJ went 73 and MJ went what 72 and 10. Scottie Pippen went to the conference finals without MJ. But we all want to show sympathy. But look, everybody can have help but LeBron James. LeBron wasted 7 years at Cleveland, then goes to South Beach. Now he's creating a super team. But I thought he was already facing super teams. Jay, why you think that way? Because bro was facing the Kevin Garnett. Bro was facing Paul Pierce. Bro was facing Ray John Rondo. Bro was facing Ray Allen. And you complain about that nigga going to South Beach. You got the nerve to complain about this nigga going to South Beach when he facing the Orlando Magic, when he facing the San Antonio Spurs, when he facing the Celtics, and you got the nerve to complain about this nigga going to South Beach?
To the point that he had somebody from his inner circle tell Stephen A. Smith at ESPN, because I was there alongside Stephen A. at that point, that LeBron had to be sedated before games 4, 5, and 6 because he was having some locker room issue with a teammate, Delonte West. Listen, Michael Jordan never had any issues with locker room teammates because they wouldn't dare to have an issue with Michael Jordan.
You said Delonte West. Did you say? Yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing wrong, but.
The point was he had to be sedated. What a wimp! What a weenie! Is that what we're talking about? And then Dan Gilbert, a few weeks later, accused LeBron.
Did Delonte West, if I'm not mistaken, I heard some rumors about Delonte West, and I don't know. I'm not gonna word on the street. This is word on the street. This is not my word, but it's word on the street. But did Delonte West sleep with that nigga mama? So you won't have a problem with a nigga sleeping with your mama? You know what I'm saying? Word on the street. That nigga slept with his mama.
Of quitting in those finals. And then do you remember first go around with the Heat, the 2011 finals? Do you remember the chosen one became the frozen one? I've never seen like it. Michael Jordan never did that. Finals. And then do you remember the first go around with the Heat, the 2011 finals? Do you remember the chosen one became the frozen one? I've never seen like it. Michael Jordan never did that. Even when they were starting 1-9, people were scared to death. Nice try.
What's that chosen one? That nigga was the frozen one. You know what I'm saying? But nah, though, bro. Skip, bro, you goofy gang. I'm gonna keep it real with you. That boy Skip funny as hell. That boy said the chosen one, he became the frozen one. Oh shoot. But nah though, yeah, I gotta end the stream early, chat. You know what I mean? I told y'all I got something to do, man. I've been pretty busy this week, man. I told y'all I joined the boxing gym. If y'all didn't know, I joined the boxing gym, so I gotta get my stretching right. But everybody that's in the stream, though, make sure y'all turn on post notifications. It's gonna be a longer stream tomorrow and all that. I think y'all think I was playing a box, man. So I got to stretch, bro. I'm kind of sore right now. I got to get my stretching routine going on. I got to get ready and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Tomorrow will be the Warriors game should be up before I leave. The Warriors game and the Magic versus Hawks game should be up, but I will, you know what I'm saying? I will live stream longer tomorrow. So make sure y'all follow my Instagram and Twitch. In the description down below, it's your boy J-Man, your boy J.